So guys, welcome to this series. Apologies for the previous video. We ran into an issue and I spent quite some time just troubleshooting to get to the error. So let's replicate the error and see exactly what was going on, because I was able to resolve it. That's what happens with programming, guys. As usual, you run into errors and you just take your time and be patient and try to resolve it. All right, so let's go and try and replicate it. So you click on fund wallet and you click on, let's assume this, $100. Yep, and it redirects us to the Paystack. And when we simulate success, yep, that goes back and says, yeah, this error. So what I found was happening, I actually went back to this. I changed the test secret key. I tried to change things. I was like, oh, okay. I haven't changed the URL. But what I found was the issue was actually my code base. Because what I found out was, I'll show you. So if you can look at database, for instance, you can see the wallet balance is $100. What that tells you is that, if you recall, so I actually even refactored the whole code, the entire code actually, or just this section here. So what you will find that this update path is actually working, but when it gets to this point where we actually create a wallet transaction, it fails and it actually goes back. So what this is essentially, just to clarify what this method is and why it was actually failing. So what it gets the session, all right, the URL that was most recently used, and tries to go back to that URL. And if you recall, that URL was essentially to redirect it to Paystack. That's the most recent URL. Hence, why we're getting this error, because that error essentially says, or this error is saying that that link has already been used. Because of course, this actually follows it. So that link has already been used. So that's correct. So what I then did, what I found was the issue was I essentially just, so that's a very good thing we picked. So what we'll do here now, instead of going back to the most recent URL, we would essentially use the to route method. So we'll specify that it goes back to, sorry guys, we'll specify that it goes back to a certain route, and we'll call that route Paystack pay, if you recall. So if we do it this way, because yeah, you find that bug still exists if you don't. So let's close this. Let's refresh this. Let's try to, you see what happens? It says here, unknown column, transaction type. So that's the error we're actually getting. Transaction type is the issue. So if I go back to my code, you see that I actually mentioned transaction type. However, there's no transaction type here. In the database, there's no transaction type. So what we need to do is we can either decide to recreate it, but if you are working on a live application already, or you don't want to recreate the database, what I recommend you do, Laravel has this feature of being able to add columns to existing tables. So what we'll just do to do that, we'll just say PHP artisan make migration. What's the migration? We'll say add transaction type. Okay, that's what we'll call it. So we just say add underscore column name that we're trying to add transaction type. Okay, yeah, transaction type. And you now say to, what's the name of the table? Wallet transactions. So what you find now is you go to this, you find, yep, that's it. So you can see that it's essentially added that for us. And you say, what schema are we using? Table, sorry, table. What did we call it again? We said it was a string. What's the name of the, yep, transaction type, and we want it to come after reference, and you say you save. So once you do that, then you just do the PHP artisan migrate. PHP artisan migrate. Fantastic. So what that has done is that has essentially added this column to the database itself. So what we'll do is, let's now check this. So you can see that now, that's there now. Prior to this time, it wasn't here. So yep, transaction type is now here. So let's now perform that. Again, let's maybe put 5,000 naira at this time. Okay. And simulate success. Fantastic. So the the wallet has been funded successfully. All right, so let's now check the, yep, you see that it's actually having that transaction here as part of the transactions that was recorded. And of course the balance has changed from 100 naira to 5,100, which has just been updated. So that's that for this one. The next video we will essentially update this to reflect the actual value of this guy, which is the wallet, NGN wallet, and we will then progress to the other currencies using a different gateway. As usual, guys, if you find this very helpful or the closest bit helpful in any of your projects, please like this video and kindly subscribe to my channel, Coding with Nnamdi. Thanks and bye for now.